3, 2, 1, let's get it.
Yo, welcome back, world, man. Welcome back to another episode of the Moving Forward Show, man. We in the building with the guard, man, Red Pill, and DB, aka Daryl Boston, man. What's up, Red?
With your co-host.
With my co-host, Bang Out. I'm sorry, man.
Forgive me, leave me
I'm sorry. I'm so used to Duce and Shay, man. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Duce. Shout out to Shay.
Tell Ho to cut the check.
Tell Lenny. Tell Ho cut the check.
Shout out to Bang Out. I'm talking about. Shout out to
Flo.
The God Flo.
You already know.
I'm honored to be up here. I'm here with my OG. D Boston.
That's a fact, though.
Who is a real force in his neighborhood, real force in his community, real force in the world. Because we're not playing on local levels.
That's a fact.
So, we're here tonight.
Thank you for coming, man. The
power
power is in the building.
The pleasure's mine.
It's not just regular.
Nah, it's not.
This not regular, man.
It's not.
Like this is like very respectful. I just wanted to say thank you.
Flo, let me cut you off. I'm honored to be in this man's presence. Let me tell you why. We have had leaders as black people. We have had leaders. We've definitely had book smart leaders and leaders that been in the field, whatever. It's rare. I haven't seen it yet to have leaders that are covert. You understand what I'm saying? Direct to the people. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's no hoopla when it comes to the pillars.
Right. And
their information is raw. Their information is serious. And I believe that, this is just my personal belief. I believe the pillars was sent by a higher force, a higher power, like a real higher force, a real higher power. I'm not talking about, I don't think these are the guys that read their way to the spotlight. I don't think these are those guys. I think these are the guys that just got the spirit. You know what I'm saying? And the people, we could feel that. We could pick that up. So, it's an honor to have this brother on the show.
So what's up, Red Pill, man? First of all, let us know what Red Pill means before we go into anything.
Well, of course, we are all familiar with the movie The Matrix. Right? Me and my brother, who happen to be twins, are called the Twin Pillars. The blue pill and the red pill.
Right.
Formerly known as P. Morpheus or P. Moore. That was blue pill. And red pill was Fillmore. Right? So, my government name, what people call your government, is Philip. My brother's name is Paul. Right? Pablo and Felipe. Okay? When you break down Philip, I got a name reading in 2013 by a sister by the name of Dorothy X out of the Nation of Islam on the mystical side. And she broke my name down word by word. And she explained to me that Phi is fire. Okay? And Phi is similar to philosophy, philanthropy, Philosopher's Stone.
Philosopher's Stone, no question.
Right? Phi is fire. Fire is red. And then you got LLIP, which is the remaining of my name. When you turn that around, conspicuously it spells out PILL.
Wow.
So inside of my name is my mission. Inside of my name is my purpose. They say, man, know thyself. So self-discovery led me to find out who I was the whole time. Like Jay says, you are who you were before you got here. So don't let anybody ever fool you and say slave name. We're so intelligent and wise that we even put our power in our name.
That's correct.
There's no such thing as slave name. You pick your attribute before you got here the same way you chose your parents.
So listen, my name is Philip. Can I be one of the pills?
Your name is Philip as well?
I'm only playing. I don't listen. Humbly, I do not qualify to be one of the pills, even though.
But you're Bang Out. Remember, we have a history.
Yes, we do, brother.
You understand? You knew me when I was twin. You knew me when I was Filthmore. You dig what I'm saying? You knew Blue when he was P Moore.
See that?
Right? We were with you when you were the champion at the DJ battles. At the Fight Club, right?
Yeah, that's a fact.
I just did my birthday party. No, I just did a party called Scorpion Season the day before Halloween at Fight Club.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
Right?
It's my home.
Which is Happy Monkey.
Yep.
If you know, you know.
If you don't, you don't. That's
So
a fact.
I'm saying that to say that this is how life works. This is how the cycle works.
Bring it
we
right
all
back
come
around.
back around to where we started from. You feel me? When we woke up, when me and my brother got the light, like he's asking, when did we get the light? When did I get my divine spark? Because you could always be conscious, unconscious.
Yeah.
When you knew me back then, you knew what we was not the same as everybody else.
Oh,
you
that's
knew
a
that we
fact.
was on another kind of time. You dig what I'm saying?
Sure.
You in the streets, but you not of it. It's a difference. So later on, the way that you measure man is by his growth and development. All things are subject to change. And if you run across the same person and they're stuck in the same place, then nothing has changed. You dig what I'm saying? They'll even keep you stuck back in time. You know, people who always run into you and refer you as your old moniker or one of your older nicknames that's attached to a certain time.
Yeah.
Yo, Pee-wee, yo, Pee-wee. Nigga, you know I'm Killer Black.
Right.
Catch up. You know what I'm talking about? So there's people that only know me as Twin. There's people that know me as Red Pill. There's people that know me as Filthmore. There's people that know me as Wisdom. All of those attributes mean something. They all have numerical value. They all have a power to them. Because your name holds, your attribute holds power.
Right.
Whatever you decide to call your name, even the rappers with the Lils, that resonates. That means something.
Yeah.
When you put Lil in front of your name, that means something.
Yeah.
They've identified an inferior stock of black people as Negroes, not growing past the knees. Lils, like lil niggas.
Right.
Wow.
Because we come from the era of the Bigs, Big Pun, Big L, Biggie Smalls,
So now everybody's
Big Baby
Lil.
Jesus. But once they got rid of all of the Bigs, conspicuously all of them are gone. Big Pun is gone, Big L is gone, Big Papa gone, Big Baby Jesus gone. And then the Lils pop up, Lil this, Young that. And then the mind state begins to change. So let's unpack Tekashi real quick and talk about how detrimental this whole case is and what the lesson is to be learned. I don't sit here and throw rocks at anybody. We're all observing the movie. We all pull over to watch the car crash. Niggas was all watching Faces of Death.
Right.
That's a fact.
You wanted to see what the outcome of this Netflix series was. We was all binging on Tekashi.
Yeah.
His whole series was a year long. Academics put the picture up today and say, yo, November the 21st. Last year, this time was the time I interviewed him for the first time. And he had allegations going against him. And people were turning their backs on him, not letting him in. And what did he do? He, as the kingmaker that he is, anybody could say what they want to say. You're just denying the new era that exists. You're not giving people the fucking credit that's due to them. He belongs to the online web 2.0 social media. It's a whole new algorithm.
Right.
They done switched that shit up so many times. That don't got nothing to do with what you niggas in the industry or the streets are doing. This is some little kid in his mama's basement that got super popping. And if he say you hot, nigga, you're gonna become a millionaire. You're part of the fucking wave. That's how he's a kingmaker. So he king Tekashi. You dig what I'm saying? He didn't only king him. He couldn't king something that didn't have the power to be king. Right? So here you have it. Somebody who is of Latin descent, right?
Mexican or something, right?
Yep. Mexican and Spanish.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Puerto
Like
Rican.
that, yeah.
You know, the same Mexican niggas honored recently because the Mexicans are the plug,
Holy
Right.
shit.
right?
Wow.
And the Mexicans are known to put in that work. Santa Murete.
Say that again, the most powerful one.
Powerful mafia right now.
Right now,
Yeah, that's
anybody
fact.
who
Bah, bah.
know, you could maybe people in the chat rooms and whatnot, but those who know that they took over. Go and watch Narcos. They lining it up. They trying to explain to you what's going on. So the kid Mexican and Spanish. He's out of Brooklyn. He got rainbow hair, 6'9" tats, but he got the billies with him. There's been a concurrent stream of gangsters coming out of Brooklyn, right? popping out of New York, being a new sound, a new wave, and the only thing that's eaten coming out of New York, and you all are gang affiliated, right? So, Ebro, who's the program director at Hot 97,
Yes,
he's
he
not
is.
the DJ, he's not Flex,
He's the
PD.
He's running that shit.
He's been the PD for a long time. So the man who programs, right, the marching orders, not just for New York, to the world, because we run the New York, where New York goes, the world goes.
That's a fact. New York is
Let's
the
be
major
clear.
market. New York is the major market.
Other markets are popping, but we still wrote the code. We got the algorithm. It came out the tunnel era.
That's a fact.
It's all about the Benjamins. It's puffy shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
By way of Biggie. What are you talking about? And Jay picked it up. He's still here. He's still on the top. Puffy's on the top. Nigga, it's all about the Benjamins. Like, they wrote that in the tunnel. What are you talking about? Gooey, Lucci, Goo. Nigga, we did that. It's not the music that niggas played. It's the niggas who took the music and lived it out. They the urban legends. It's Brooklyn niggas all around the world. They cut their teeth. And that was their soundtracks. And people pay homage and they bear witness. You go to Atlanta, it's Brooklyn niggas that are recognized. Not to say they the only ones. You go to Miami, you go anywhere. You go in the industry. It's the niggas from the tunnel era running teams.
Wow. It's interesting.
Right? Our generation.
No, it's a fact.
70s babies.
It's a fact though. We look at it, yeah.
In the 80s babies. We got in. So he's the program director. He's reading a letter from the NYPD. And he acknowledges that they gave him a letter prior to that. So here it goes. The program director who knows all of the business of everybody inside of hip hop has a direct line with the biggest gang in New York. Remember?
NYPD.
Wow.
Remember, you had a gang member get on the Breakfast Club, right? And claim to the world, this is how you spiritually do yourself in, because words are power. You just got finished bragging how powerful your word is and how strong your influence is. And then you said the only two people that I fear is who?
God and the feds.
And who else said that? Where else did you hear that? Biggie said that. And when he died, what did they tell you? That the feds was on him. The same way that they was on Tekashi. Facts. The feds were following Biggie and tapping the phones. The feds were about to intercede on the murder. The same phone call the same way that they approached my guy, Tekashi, and told him that the boys are trying to kill him. That they did that to Henry Hill, didn't they? And Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Oh, this conversation is crazy.
Yo, they trying to get you want to turn state, and he tried to turn the car up and it blew up and he went state.
That's right.
So what are they telling you?
Wow.
They played the tapes for him. They did that to Henry Hill. Look, that's the nigga fucking your wife. And what did they say to Shotty? I don't want to put nothing out there like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it has all of these same kind of things in it.
Nah,
So-
speak on it, because I know the people. Let me just say this one thing: the people that's listening, that support Tekashi and support Shotty and support the streets, they know what direction you coming from.
Of course.
Speak on it. They
So-
know it's love.
The people have to understand that the record industry is in cohorts with the prison complex industry, is in cohorts with the big pharma industry, is in cohorts with Wall Street. Everything is being sold as a stock. All of our ignorance is being monetized. The PDs and the labels are purposely bringing the gangs in, because the gangs are allowing the feds. This shit is a fishbowl. Everybody's being monitored. They said they was watching niggas since 2013.
Wow.
It's the same script that they gave you with Schmurda in them. The feds came in at the end with Schmurda in them. The record, the label, the radio stations are bringing in them. They letting people come in and talk their business. By talking your business and allowing you to get on these, allowing you to go global, it's allowing them surveillance not only of you, but every fucking body that's following you, everybody that's chilling with you, everybody because everything it's all digital. The evolution will be digitized. Your phone is the fucking Fed agent. They don't need no more agents anymore. They got your smartphone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? And they like they said with this thing, they're tapping. They'll tap your line.
Let me ask you a question.
They even got
Do you think?
let me just say this real quick. They even got AR ab.
Yeah, they got.
What I'm trying to explain is this: they got Rollo, they got AR Ab, they got Tekashi, they got GS9. Remember, 99 years.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
99
That's
years.
crazy.
They got a few people. They got
That was a bad joke by the judge.
The big homie, Rod Diggs.
They definitely got free Rod Diggs.
So
Free Rod.
nobody is putting these things in the alignment that they got. They got Jimmy Henchman. No one is putting it into alignment. What do some of these groups have in common? They're very what?
Powerful.
Not only powerful,
Uh-huh.
but very strong-minded.
The power knocked down a damn fucking.
That's
Keep
how
it down. Keep it down. Keep it down.
That's the boom.
Very
God
They're very,
damn.
they're very militant.
They're
You got
influential
the
too.
power in
You gotta
here.
remember, they're very militant-minded.
Right.
Not to say that they're conscious and they running around doing lectures or they're on
Leave it.
YouTube professing who they like and who they don't like or who they hate and who they know. That's not how gangsters who are of a certain mind straight with street knowledge move. They just don't move like somebody that you could bend over. They don't move like somebody that if you get into a mafia run industry not moving like mafioso, guess what will happen to you?
You die.
Die.
Okay. And how many people are dying?
A lot.
All right, because a coward dies 1,000 deaths, and they get you by the contract. They get you with all of these things that you sign over to them. That's how they break these people. Once they break your spirit, they'll break you physically. They break them in. As you can, we don't have to spell it out. Go and watch Where Are They Now? Go and watch Unsung. The game that they played on this young man is the game that they played on many people. What did they do to Bobby Shmurda immediately after he got arrested?
Well, how do we
They
stop
turned their
this?
backs on him.
How do we
Wait,
stop this?
hold on. Before we get into how we stop it, do you think that? Because I'm hearing this.
Yeah.
Do you think that the powers that be see the power in gangs and they stop the gangs from acquiring too much power?
I have a lecture series that I've started on October the 10th, 2016, before Trump became president. 10-10-10, right? No, 10-10-16.
Right.
And it's called Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah, right?
Blackamoor?
Blackamoor, not Fear of a Black Messiah, Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah. And I give the definition of Blackamoor so black people and Moors can understand that we've been identified as Blackamoors throughout history, as well as Negro, colored, black, Moors, and many other things. So Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah alleviates any kind of petty argument one person would try to have, because the way that they're looking at us, we're all subjects of Rome, the crown, and the church. You understand? And we're all deemed Aboriginal, indigenous, and inhabitants of North America, which is known as North America, and other places that are like the islands, the Caribbean, and other places that are aboriginally owned that have resource-rich land, billions of dollars in square mileage. Yeah, they want to keep you as the enemy under the sword because they're cheating your land. They're feeding off of you. You know what I'm talking about? It is the proverbial parasite host relationship. We can get into that, but you know, it's what you saw in the Matrix.
Wow.
Can I ask this one question?
Right.
Because I watched some of the videos that you and your brother put out.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit in tune with the knowledge community.
Yeah.
And you could be as cocky as you want about this, but I just need an answer. Why does it seem like, no, this is real, it don't seem like the other people in the knowledge community, they back down from you and your brother. I watch this. They humble themselves to y'all. And these are not people that humble themselves to each other in the knowledge community.
You talking about like Israelites and stuff like that?
All of the different groups, I watched them. They've been
The conscious community.
the whole conscious community. I watched them humble themselves to you and your brother. How do y'all get that much power and respect in that kind of community? Like, what is
Because
this?
we are humble. We've been very humble as the pillars of the community. Our role and our contribution to what is known as the conscious community is written in stone. Like, we are the pillars. We're the pioneers. We've been there from the beginning, building it up. The work that we put in, we have afforded hundreds of people opportunities. Like we played our part. We were behind the cameras for many, many years. We have a syndicated radio show, Know the Ledge Radio, from 09, from 2010 to about 2014. 700 episodes, Know the Ledge Radio, legendary episodes with everybody that we know in the community who is somebody that's doing something now, was doing something then. We have legendary interviews with Dr. Sabi, about 6 of them. We have interviews with Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. We have about 20 interviews with Dr. Delbert Blair. These are all ancestors who are not with us right now, but these are legends. These are icons. These are the leaders that are going to be talked about, the thought leaders that are going to be talked about. We have interviews with Dick Gregory, the State of the Union 2012 and 13. I'm talking about legendary things. So when we popped up from Blog Talk Radio and began utilizing what is known as digital convergence by working with other platforms, by doing that, expanding our audience and introducing our audience into other new audiences, because of the fact that we've been on 125th Street since about 04, right?
Yeah,
around
definitely.
the time after me and you I stopped seeing you around 03.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So then around 04, I go back. I come from Miami and I come back to New York. I actually left Miami while I was working with Pitbull. I was doing stylists at that time. Okay. Now a lot of people know us for boosting back in the 90s and whatnot. Being in ATL, being in BK, being in Flatbush, you know what I mean? Twin and all of that. Yeah, the Lizzie bag. Shout out to Sport Low. Shout out to Duck. Shout out to Poop Man. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to the legend. Shout out to Big Teach. You know, everybody. So Skeletor, you know, so we come from a rich history in real Brooklyn. You know what I'm talking about? Like concrete Brooklyn.
Wait,
like
hold
foundation
on.
Brooklyn.
This don't got nothing to do with hood respect. This got something to do with intellectual and spiritual respect. How are y'all able to exist in this conscious community and have no known opposers? I've seen opposers, and then I've seen them challenge y'all mentally, and then they end up humbling themselves. Everybody got ops in the conscious community. Y'all don't seem to have no ops. What are y'all doing?
I can answer that.
Yeah, what is, like, I don't understand.
With the twins is that they reach a different audience. Like, they kind of like bridge that gap. They bring information that I think we need now. It's not really a battle about religion and you know, science and all that stuff. It's about galvanizing all that, which he's done. You get what I'm saying? And being able to introduce that to the youth. And that, you know, they bridge that gap because he's like he said, he actually Dr. Sabi. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't know that they did that platform years ago.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Then you got somebody that's dealing with the ancestors, dealt with Blair, and he's reaching out to, like, my son listens to them. So, you know, my son is 11, so it's like they're reaching everybody, and they're using the useful information that we need now.
I mean, and coming from where we come from, and not being victims of that, right? Not using, oh, I come from the streets, or I got the streets with me. Not using that as a tactic to, you know, scare people, because remember, you could rule by fear.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Right? You could easily rule by fear. You could rule by intimidation, right? You could Debo your way into shit. Yo, you gonna put us on the bill. Yo, you gonna book us. You know what I mean? Huh?
Respect lasts longer.
But integrity,
That's the
character,
Yes, sir.
and respect. Remember, I've been on the most illest proving ground for consciousness, and that's 125th Street.
That's a fact.
You was out there when I was at war. You came out there when I was at war. You stood back to back with me, and I'm talking about this was life and death war, because I got sophisticated savages. So my war is not on YouTube. I don't take my wars into the internet.
Who in particular did you go to war with on 125th Street? It was legendary.
I
can't say that.
Was it somebody from the conscious community that you ever went to war with that you would like to mention? Just to say it was a great battle, a verbal war, yeah.
Armageddon is a war of will, too. So
yeah, Armageddon is a war of will. I've been in many wars. You know what I'm saying? I've been in many wars, you know. Some on small scales, some not. You feel me? But as somebody who is, you know, a strategist, I don't speak about, especially in these days and times, because like I said, I'm identifying the fact that we're in a fishbowl right now, and everything that we say can and will be used against us. So I promise you, like I'm getting back to the lecture, The Fear of a Black and More Messiah. What I spoke about in high detail was the federal psyop that's being carried out to criminalize and to paint as a homeland terrorist the Messianic ones. The Messianic ones have colorful hairs. The Messianic ones have face tats, because there's something about face tattoos that's scary. They're not scary. It's historic. It deals with it was when we had all of our tats on our face. We was doing to the colonizers and to the missionaries what they just did to the missionary over there in India.
Are you saying this has something to do with reincarnation and them recognizing that these young kids are identifying who they was in past lifetimes?
Man, know thyself. When you read the journals of this, when you read the journals of Columbus, right? When you read the journals of Pizarro, and when you read the journals of Cortez, right? They talk about intricate detail of coming across tribes where they had locks flowing down their backs, armbands of pure gold. The women had neck bands of pure gold. Their breasts were out, succulent breasts, big buttocks, gold all over them, right? They said of Amazonian beauty, right? And the men had gold in their mouth with tattoos on their face. They talk about when they came across the people in Florida, when they had a war with the Seminoles, Seminole War 1, 2, and 3, all of the Seminoles won. Wow. The Geechee and the Gullahs and the Seminoles out there, which were melanated, copper tone complexion, African, and they lost. So these people were identified as the same way that the niggas that you see Kodak Black and the Sniper Gang and them look like right now.
And they know
super
that.
fact, and they like I said, they know us more than we know ourselves. Right. Man, know thyself. The reason why we're in a predicament of where we're at as a race is because we bought into a $1 billion, almost $1 trillion propaganda campaign that started, I would peg it into the motherfucking 80s. Because me and him...
Wait, hold on. I don't mean to cut you off. So you mean to tell me that the powers that be are identifying with these young kids with face tattoos and gold and all that? They identifying those kids with warriors from the past. You saying that on the record?
Hillary Clinton identified the generation of youth that were coming as super predators, right?
Wow.
Whoa, right? She said we're gonna make them heal.
Oh, shit.
She identified them as super predators. There were studies done, right, about super predators and what this generation was becoming, because the generation that is the Vietnamese or the veterans of Vietnam's generation, we come from the DNA of those soldiers who were motherfucking doped out, right? There was all kind of DNA that was being unlocked in those jungles and whatnot, going through those killing fields, being in super duper survival mode. So they gave birth to sociopaths.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
They gave birth to sociopaths. My generation spawned millions of sociopaths, right? They birthed degenerates. They birthed killers. They birthed cold-hearted motherfucking psychopaths. They birthed narcissists. There was a lot of things that came out of that era. And then when they infiltrated that era with the heroin, they even made it even more compromised. So now we dealt with that generation, but then we get into the crack generation, right? Because there was a time between that where there was a level of peace amongst us.
Yeah,
we were just talking about it earlier. Look, when we was younger, we were integrated.
That's right.
All of us. Mm-hmm. Are you a 70s baby?
Yes, sir.
Look, we knew all the songs We knew all of the words to Hall and Oates.
Yeah.
We knew about Pat Benatar. We knew about Cyndi Lauper. We knew about motherfucking George Michaels.
George Michael, hell yeah.
Boy George.
Boy George in a culture club.
We
We
knew
knew
about
it
Boy
word
George.
by word.
We was
Our
listening to
parents
Yeah.
were sitting us down in front of the TV and they were like, yo, you're gonna watch this. Right? You're gonna watch this. We were integrated. Oh, here she comes. She's American. Remember Hot Tracks.
Hot tracks.
Remember Hot Tracks.
Yep.
Word.
Video music box.
Now look, tune in like
Video music box.
Facts.
So they reprogrammed us, as he's about to say.
So the one who broke the mold was Mike.
Michael Jackson.
You understand? No, he broke the mold. Remember, they got us looking at them, right? As children who see art or music as a superpower because it develops our psyche. You understand? It makes us look at a certain group of people like, yo, these people are magical. These people are talented. These people are godlike. You know what I mean? We don't know nothing about their history at all,
Right.
based off of what they feeding us. Then Mike come with Mike shit.
3 mics came.
No, 3 Mikes came. Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, right? And Jordan.
Yeah.
All 3 Mikes, and if you want to get biblical with Mikael, all 3 Mikes were completely instrumental with shaping where it is, what we're at right now,
Wow.
where our culture is on top and is influencing every single corner of the planet like their culture was doing when we was babies. Remember, the 80s babies don't know about this history and the 90s babies don't know it either because nobody says that.
Jordan, Jackson, action.
Yep. Biggie. Biggie said it.
So we was watching soap operas.
Days
We
of Our
was
Life.
watching Facts of Life.
All my children.
We was watching All My Children.
were
Niggas
watching
knew who
it.
Tad was. Niggas knew who Susan Lucci was.
Facts.
Super facts.
We
Niggas
on
on
Dynasty.
Dynasty. Not
Kill
Slant.
JR.
Niggas
Facts,
moms
yo.
was watching soap operas like they watch Oprah, my nigga.
Word.
That
At
was
night,
the
that shit used to
Ratchet
come
Monday.
on
That
at
was
night.
Ratchet at night, nigga. No, yeah,
Dynasty
no.
used to come on at night.
That was like this. That's like the reality shows of today. That's like the
Word.
reality. Yeah, basically, in the daytime soap operas are the daytime talk shows of today,
Word.
or in the daytime, just ragtag shit of today. But the nighttime shit of the Ratchet Mondays and the people throwing stuff, that was the nighttime soap operas.
Yes, it was.
When niggas was sleeping with each other.
Word.
So that was our indoctrination. Who stopped that? Cosby stopped that.
Wow.
Right?
Yes, he did. Yo,
Cosby stops that.
The boom.
So Mike,
wait, hold on. I got 5 kids. I just want to say one thing. Cosby taught me how to mop. I learned how to mop from Cosby. Regardless to what he did, I learned how to mop from that man. I also learned how to talk to my daughters from Bill
And he
Cosby.
sent you to school. And he sent you to college.
Yeah. We would have knew nothing about college.
With different world.
We would have
That
knew
was
nothing
that was
about
the
that. It was a
part two
spin-off.
of the
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Cosby.
Shout out to Cosby. Shout out to Pill Bill.
Pill Bill.
Why they did Bill like that since we on
Bill
since we on
Cosby.
Bill Cosby?
Yeah.
Why
I
they
can't
did,
jump into that right now. I wanna.
I knew he was going to say that.
Yeah, that's
like a
You know why? Because he was America's
on
dad.
his own.
Listen, let me throw my conscious spin on. He was the
Sacrifice.
American dad. He sacrificed him.
It's about sacrificing the icons. It's about not letting one of them out. Remember, everybody's getting sacrificed. Prince died in his elevator. Mike died in his bed. Whitney died in the tub.
and the daughter as well.
James Brown died at the dentist. He went to get his teeth checked. How about that?
Wow.
So all of our icons are going out bad. And there's all foul play or suspected foul play involved in almost every single one of them.
Dr.
Yeah,
Sebi.
Since we talking about
Dr.
that.
Sabi,
Dr.
no
Sabi.
question. They got him. You know what I mean? Like,
They
So
killed Dr. Sabi.
yeah,
So what I'm
definitely
saying is because COINTELPRO 2.0 still exists, because the federales are the biggest gang in America. The NYPD is the biggest gang in New York. And you don't get on the radio and ever say that you fear them like you fear God. You don't fear God, and you never fear anybody. You don't fear man.
For the record, I don't fear the feds at all. I don't fear the police. I don't fear the feds.
Know thyself.
Know thyself.
Not me.
Know thyself. You can't say, oh, I don't fear nobody but. No, fear no man.
And what's the reason why you say that?
Because fear, what we see happen in situations such as that is you are God. Meaning that you are the manifester of your destiny. The Gomar, Oz, Dubar. So you speak your reality into existence with your words and your intentions. Your word is born, right? So you don't walk around the hood saying, I'm scared to bang out. I ain't scared of no nigga but bang out. He'll come and bang out when he wants to, because you just invited him to the fact that you will back down from him. That you won't fight him. That you don't got no smoke for him. You just said around him you in the non-smoking section. So you can't do that in prison. So what make you think all rules? Remember, everything applies right now.
So that's why the feds came when Tekashi said he was scared of them. That's why Biggie died when he said he was scared of them.
What I'm saying
he said that he's gonna have the number one viewings on the Breakfast Club.
Then you gotta be careful what you ask for.
He actually has that power, but now be careful. And I think Charlamagne was trying to, but he said what he said, and what came into fruition.
He was trying to help him steer his intentions. Yeah, Charlamagne was trying to coach him to steer his intentions in a more direct way. Don't just say that you're gonna get the most views. Like, it's bigger than that at this point. You know what I'm saying? Let's do a little bit of, cleaning up, because in a sense, he did what he did the proverbial ritual of shedding his skin on that show. He humanized himself.
Somebody else know your power.
He did humble himself. He showed you his Achilles heel. Right? He showed you his Achilles. But he distanced himself from the same people who got him where he is.
That's right.
I think that was just I think that was, and I don't. Well, I can say this.
Hold on.
Yeah. He didn't. He only distanced himself to the media. He only distanced himself. I think he was still definitely in.
Everything that you say can and will be held against you in social media. Remember, the world heard it. He's behind bars, right? I will never bring you into my crew if I heard you drop the flag of the crew who you're known for being in. Like, you could have still. I'm just saying, and like I said, what I heard him say is that the people that he vowed his life to, that he was no
with him.
And I know for a fact that there were you know how they say the wolves be at the door?
Yeah,
you know that scene in Game of Thrones, Hodor, where the demons are at the door, with the Goonies and the zombies, they at the door, and somebody holding it back. What I would challenge people to do is to be very mindful of pulling that door away, pulling the doorman away from that door. Because now you allow everybody who was willing to come and get you, but because of the fear that you had of those who were protecting you, right? How's that going to fare behind bars? And how is that going to fare in a system where everything is gang related?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's a more difficult situation than if you did not denounce that. So, I'm just using, and I don't mean to use logic in a situation like that, because sometimes it's more than logic.
Right.
Sometimes you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes, strategy-wise, how a person may be playing chess. Because I can tell you one thing. I know that he's working with a higher spiritual power than most people may realize.
Who, Tekashi?
He said he got rubbed down from a lady from Mexico. Come on, I listen to what they say.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I listen to what they say.
I heard him.
I pick up on things like that.
Stuff like that.
So, anything is possible in this reality.
Yo, may I say one thing? Honorable mention also, because a lot of people in the conscious community, I'm gonna just be honest, they racist. I don't know whether it was you or your brother one of y'all said it came from y'all corner that white people are not their enemy, and they actually are here. They serve a greater purpose with us to help us and preserve some of the what was it? To preserve some
custodians of
the caretakers of information or something.
That's what it was. Can you elaborate on that? I don't.
Kind of, sort of. I mean, I didn't hear what you said, but if you want to just,
I said that. You said that.
I didn't hear.
One of y'all said that. One of the pillars definitely said that.
I think you may be talking about the video we did about Stan Lee. And we were talking about, we were speaking about a certain Jewish man by the name of Stan Liebel, and we were speaking about the fact that, you know, especially dealing with those the Jewish race, or the people who call themselves, because Jews are it's not a race. You convert to Judaism. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about the intricate relationship between Jews and blacks, in terms of creativity. In terms of there's some kind of chemistry, even though people have identified a nefarious throughway to some of the things that, you know, have been a constant, like black people coming out on the bottom,
right?
Yeah,
black people being ripped off, black people being hoodwinked, black people being tricked by paperwork, and contracts, you know what I mean, and things of that nature. But we also said that there's an intricate relationship between our people to where, you know, Stan Lee was utilizing black heroes, modern day heroes, real life heroes, as his source material to create what is known as superheroes. So superheroes in real life, you dig what I'm saying? Were being reinterpreted in the realm of imagination, which is what the European does. They'll come amongst us and study us, and those amongst us who have traits that are supernatural, that are known as superhero types. You know, because hero is Heru. Hero, what people call hero, just call it Heru, because that's what it's fashioned after. That's Apollo. That's Creed. You feel me? So that's the Falcon. So they study the great ones amongst us, like the rappers. They study the great ones amongst us, like the athletes. They study the great ones amongst us, like the intellects and the orators. Because remember, they look up to, right? They look up to, and they appreciate. Okay, those amongst us who are intellectual giants.
So did Stan Lee have any type of, you know, what's the word I'm looking for, like impact on the black community?
Stan Lee, like I'm saying, like a lot of the Jewish mystics who are responsible for reinterpreting our mythos and selling it back to us, right, have done a lot for our community, right? But they do it in a way where they get paid on the bottom. They get paid doing that, right? So by him being what we talked about, like Anansi, right? They introduce you to Anansi and American Gods. If anybody saw American Gods, has anybody seen that on Stars? So you saw them introduce Anansi, who was played by Orlando Brown or Bloom or whatever. Okay, so Anansi is African folklore about the spider, right? So SpiderMan is Anansi. So Professor X, right, is modeled after Martin Luther King. Magneto is Malcolm X. So the way that they preserve our culture.
Is this on the record?
Of course, this is on the record. Jack Kirby, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Jack Kirby, the influence of the Black Panther. The Panthers out of Oakland came after the release of the Black Panther comic book, but they still played hand in hand. They were very influential into the character of T'Challa. You know what I'm talking about?
That's crazy.
So our culture influences what is known as pop culture, or influence. You see it going on today.
They steal from us all the time.
It's not even really stealing. We're in this fishbowl where we've been integrated. I just went through to say that our generation came up integrated. We already signed a contract. Then hip hop broke us out of that. I didn't finish talking about the cycle that broke us out of this European ideology.
Are we really broke out of that shit? I didn't know.
I didn't know either. You know what I'm talking about? But if I could shine a light on a road that a lot of this less travel, people might be able to retrace their steps.
Right.
Because some of us are into healing these days. Some of us are into pharmacopoeia. Some of us are into shit like magic mushrooms, DMT, ayahuasca, and all of these other things. And we're taking these trips and we're healing from trauma and we're picking up some of the pieces. So sometimes you need these roadmaps to figure out where things may have been getting programmed at, because this is about reprogramming your subconscious. So all of the G.I. Joe shit that we watch, all of the He-Man stuff that we watch, all of these concepts, go and rewatch it with a third eye open.
Thundercats and all that.
Thundercats, go and do the knowledge. Man, it was Jews and all of that. Yeah, it was mad Jews.
It's just anarchy now.
Yeah, it was mad Jews and all of that. You feel me? So, you know, they was dropping gems. Remember, we have people amongst us who are caretakers. They are custodians of a lost knowledge. They're custodians of an ancient knowledge. They are custodians. They are caretakers, but they are also capitalists. So they're gonna put it in their image,
Right.
because they jacking for beats.
Right.
It's like how they took our rhyme books and then we're just identifying some rappers who are white who try to sound like us. I'm just giving you some artists who basically took your information and your stories, your mythos, your hair rules and whatnot, your all of these things, and they flipped it.
Made their version of it.
Yeah.
They took Ogun, Oshun, you know what I'm talking about? They took Shango with the lightning, made him Thor. The same way that they did in the religions. The same way that they did in their mythos. It's remember that there's a comic book that says God wears spandex. Okay? The comic books is a religion. Whoa.
It is.
There's something called a fantasy industry complex. It's one of the biggest industry complexes on the planet.
That's a fact.
The fantasy industry complex consists of the video game conglomerate. I'm talking about everything. EA, Rockstar, the whole kaboot, right? Hollywood, sports, Disney, Peppa Pig, my nigga. You know what I mean? Like the whole shit.
Man,
Look, they watching Peppa Pig eating a pig. They're watching Peppa Pig eating pigs. They're watching the little 3 ducks playing, eating chicken nuggets. Like, yo, and they going wild. Like, yo, give me the nuggets. Give me the nuggets. And then they watching the nuggets.
Subliminally,
they eating the fucking chicken, watching the little chickens.
It's just like it's okay to eat.
Wait, listen, you said the fantasy
industry complex is so supreme that life as we know it, reality as we know it, has been blurred. The lines of reality as we know it are now blurred. You don't know reality from fantasy. You don't. One of these days we'll wake up and the real Batman will be on the scene beating up bad guys, and niggas will just be like, "Yo,
hey,
it was bound to happen."
I was in Manhattan a couple weeks ago,
We have the technology.
and I'm seeing motherfucking Zeldas, Marios, Luigis, Pac-Mans, all that shit, Comic-Con. So look, before I put 2 and 2 together, right? I see the police flying down 34th going to the Javits. I'm like, what's going on? Everybody in costumes. I'm like, Comic-Con. I said, let me find out. The Mario and Luigi niggas is getting it on with the Zelda niggas. Let me find out these niggas is really out here taking this shit serious. It was crazy. Yeah, man. Yo, listen. I'm
fantasy. So that goes to show you can't say that Zelda is fantasy. It's not.
Right.
It's a nigga that will dress up like Link and poke you, bro.
No. Wait. Let me cut you off. There was big grown men. This was the most popular costume that night.
That's right.
Tights with a big ass sword. It was mad niggas with tights on. Big gangster looking niggas with tights on and a sword,
That's
bro.
Fortnite, I think.
Who the fuck was that?
I think that's some Fortnite shit. Like, don't underestimate the power of the fantasy complex industry. If you're a creative, if you are an artist, if you have an imagination, you could be doing life. To be honest with you, my niggas doing life is in a great place right now. They're in a great place because of the new economies that exist. These niggas are in a great place. They got phones and shit behind the wall.
Yeah.
Like, these niggas could be making a lot of bread. We'll talk about that at another time because I want to bring solutions, but they could be doing a lot of things. They could get into day trading. They got a lot of time on their hands.
Wait, they allow the prisoners to have phones?
They don't
got laptops.
They don't allow them to have phones, but they got laptops. But
they got access to the internet?
Yeah, I speak to my cousin regularly.
Niggas be going live through the pen.
Do they have access to the internet though?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how you write people now.
Yeah, through Facebook and all that.
Oh yeah, I have Facebook. And
They're allowed to have Facebook pages in the feds?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
The states too.
Are you serious?
Yeah, free Puzbachino. I speak.
It's so normalized. It's kind of like we.
Yeah.
So my brother could get a laptop right now in the pen.
He should. They probably got a laptop in a library that he in.
Wow, that's interesting. That's real interesting. Yo, let me ask you another. I don't mean to keep.
Nah. I just want to say this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Since we was on these cartoon things, I had seen an article that was going across the my timeline about the Minions and the Nazis.
Yeah.
And they used that to come up with the Minions.
Yeah.
Is that true?
There's a thing that artists use called source material, right? Get into it, learn about it. There are certain books that many artists who write both screenplays and that are animators and video game developers and things of that nature, people who deal with 3D modeling and all of that, they go and get source material. Henceforth, why a lot of these games stay in a certain kind of weapons, stay in a certain kind of category. You know what I'm talking about? And certain characters are like, you could juxtapose them into different games and they fit because a lot of them are being drawn from similar source material. So, based off of the creative groups who come together to create these characters, you got to study who they big homies are, because we all got master teachers.
Right.
You understand? I'm a creative. I'm a maker. I'm a designer. I do all of that. I have master teachers who I draw source material from. When I design my characters, I'm going into Phil. When I was designing characters in the 90s, I was listening to Farrakhan, right? I was listening to like David Icke sometimes, source material. And they were molding my reality to basically helping to mold my imagination to create a world, and I put it on paper. And that's what rappers do. Niggas was watching kung fu movies.
Word.
Niggas was watching the A-Teams with Mr. T, Trippy.
It's a fact.
Right? Niggas was watching Scarface, getting skied up. Right?
Fact.
Niggas was watching Jason and Chucky, and they start writing rhymes. And they decided that they wanted to design a motherfucking lifestyle that they wanted to live, and they did it magically through the pen. The same way when we were drawing cartoons, we did it in cartoons and in pictures. Niggas drew themselves in houses.
Yeah.
Right? Remember we was in fucking kindergarten?
Yeah.
Everybody had a house and your moms and shit. Yeah. You holding your sister's hand and all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real.
So niggas grew up and they start writing about it through poetry. And then that becomes your rhymes.
It's a fact.
And these rhymes or these poems are so powerful, right? They're creating gods out of more. Not when I say God, I don't want to spook nobody that's religious out, because this is higher than religion. This conversation, I'm talking about gods as in, generator, operator, destroyer. You're influencing millions of people with your word, right? You have the power to start a war with your mind. You got the power to walk 1 million people off of a fucking cliff and kill them. You got the power to march 1 million niggas inside of jail cells. You got the power to march
a
million niggas into an open grave. And guess who figured out that they can manipulate niggas with that kind of power?
The internet.
Ebro.
Wow.
The program directors. The NYPD who are working with the stock market, because like I said, everything that we do is being monetized. Our diseases are being monetized. Our incarceration is being monetized. Remember, these niggas are slave makers and they're slave runners, because anytime you lock a nigga up, they become a slave. So if every song on the radio right now is encouraging our young children, our OGs, our mothers and fathers, uncles and aunts to do things and compromise themselves to become a slave, then these niggas is in the business of slavery. Disguised as hip hop, disguised as, nah, we just going to get it how we live. No, that's not how we live. We can't be ignorant in the world that we live in right now. We can't live ignorantly blissful, because we're going to be targeted for extermination. Right. We cannot carry ourselves lower than those around us who are historically known for being lower vibrational.
So what you tell a kid that want to come up and rap and want to rap about what he's seeing in his community? Because he ain't seeing nothing.
I would tell him to be a visionary and rap about what he want to see in his community, right? It's enough people rapping about what they see in the community, and they rap so good, and they rap so strong, you know what I mean? And they rap so long that they perpetuate what's being seen in the community. Not only do they help it, what's being seen in the community, they enhance it.
They keep it alive.
So the communities that they enhance that in are being re-gentrified right now. Meaning that they're being cleansed and cleaned out, and the niggas who have carried out they're being purged. Because anytime they put your grandma on a sidewalk and put her on her plastic couch that she been paying rent in her goddamn 3-bedroom for 60 years, that's a purge. And they use the rappers to devalue the neighborhoods. They use the rappers to put the real niggas in jail. They use the rappers to basically devalue and demonetize and not only desensitize and dehumanize their own people, but they use them to devalue. You know, when a car drives off the lot, what does it become?
Devalue.
They lose its value.
It's like a plague.
So
it's on you,
the Midas touch is turning things into gold. They got us turn everything that we touch, turn it into dust or devaluement.
But some of our best people came from hip hop, man.
No, I'm not saying that they don't. Even in our lowly state, we're the most powerful force on the planet. Right. Don't get it messed up. We are gods. Going back to what I was initially saying, God is a verb. God is a noun. Where everybody pays attention to, remember, consciousness is what you pay attention to. Right. We are the attention economy. We are what the world is watching. We are who's being paid attention to. We are the black dot, the alpha and the omega. That's not ego talking. You know what I'm talking about? Right. That's not anything but the truth. So I ain't paying attention to Garth Brooks. I'm not even paying attention to Donald Trump. I'm just highlighting the goddamn I'm chronicalizing the madness until he turns into Hitler. That's it. But they watching us. Streets is watching. Niggas got their eyes on us. I don't get on a train and watch no white people. Right. I don't even like looking at them in their eyes. No offense to them and whatnot, but I'm not into that kind of connection. You understand? I don't want to see there, because if I look in your eyes, I'm going to see your whole fucking history. Right. You understand? Right. I seen all kind of heinous shit when I looked into those icy blue eyes over time. Yeah. So I'm good. Certain people don't exist to me. And I got the option to say if you exist in my reality or not. Right. So what I pay attention to, I give power to. Right? So I don't be paying attention to a lot of shit. I pay attention to the beautiful aspects of our people. I pay attention to the beautiful people that are around me. I pay attention to my enemies, my frenemies. You know what I'm talking about? I pay attention to shit that the average person don't see. Right. Because I see shit, I see dead people. The more you wake up, the more you're going to see the carnage.
Yeah, we got some in my hood, right? I woke up this morning and my project was on the news saying how people can't walk to different sides because sides is beefing with each other. But like I was telling DB, he reposted on his page, I'm like, yo, they ain't been shooting in my projects in months. When they was shooting, they ain't get that coverage. Why are they trying to do that now?
It's propaganda. Like I was saying earlier, the media is all in cahoots with each other. The radio work with the news work with the police work with the DA. The DA work with Big Pharma. Big Pharma work with Big Beef. They all are working in tandem. You understand? So it's called propaganda. They want to take your mind off the fact that European men are carrying out acts of mass murder on a weekly basis. They want to take away the fact that they are arresting white extremists all around America who are planning and plotting on purging in the name of white. I call it white fragility. I don't say superiority, because if people recognize superiority, then that's on them. I recognize fragility. I recognize inferiority. I used to be in the playgrounds with them. I had the opportunity, like I said, when we came up listening to them, we also were studying them. And then we victimized them. And then we were able to basically just boss up in the 80s and the 90s.
That's a fact.
We were sovereign in our blackness.
That's a fact.
Yeah, like
definitely.
I don't know what these niggas is going through right now.
That's the Wizard of Oz.
I don't know what y'all allowing reality to be, but where I came from, we stood on something, and by standing on, remember,
not me.
We stood on the code. The shit that Tekashi got away with was unheard of, right? There was a hierarchy
in terms of street shit and
I'm
speaking
talking about
on
in
certain
terms
things,
of street
right?
shit and saying certain things. That's all I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the loose part of it.
Like Tim telling people to suck his dick.
I'm talking about that part. I'm talking about the part I'm talking about the part where you could there was no way that you could move around and not be seen.
Yeah.
That was not really, you were not hiding nowhere.
Not in the hood.
Not in the hood, bro. So all I'm talking about is that aspect.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Speaking on ancient literature,
Yeah.
in your opinion, why is the Emerald Tablet getting so much attention at this rate right now?
Because we live in an age. Harking back to the initial question about red pill and blue pill. We live in that movie highlighted, you know what I'm saying? The age of the Aquarius. Everything changed after that.
Okay.
That movie is the red pill. Sophia Stewart wrote that. And the Terminator.
So tell me, what's the plan? What's the agenda?
Hold on, I gotta finish this question.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
For those that don't know who Sophia Stewart is.
Why, in your opinion, why is the Emerald Tablet getting so much notoriety?
The Hermetic principles
Yeah.
are the laws, the 12 laws, or the 7 laws that govern. There's the 12 universal principles and the 7 Hermetic principles. The law of vibrations, the fact that everything is moving. So we could stop treating things as if they were dead.
Right.
Even though a dollar bill is an inanimate object, it still has vibrations to it. Even though a rock appears to be still, there's still vibration, the law of rhythm. Everything moves. Everything has a rhythm. Everything obeys an algorithm. Right? The law of opposites. The law of genders. There's no such thing as 3, there's only 2. The law of duality. If there's black people on the planet, there's gonna be white people. Protagonist, antagonist. Cat, motherfucking dog. Lion, motherfucking zebra. You understand?
Fact. That's the fact. But the motherfucking camera minutes is running out, man.
So I'm just saying, don't be pissed off, brother, because we got time. We gotta do
part 2 on this interview.
Yeah, say less.
Yeah, this is just y'all.
And I might even have the blue pillar with me.
Yeah, this is gonna be a series of interviews.
We gotta do a part 2, man. Give your shout out before we go, bro. Please.
Yeah, shout out to Mama Pill. Shout out to KT the Arch Degree. Shout out to Blue Pillar. Shout out to the Paradigm Shifters. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to the Know the Ledge family.
That's a fact.
Shout out to KTL, Know the Ledge. Shout out to Brother Rich. Shout out to AA Rashid. Dr. Phil Valentine. Rest in peace, Dr. Sabi, Dr. Delbert Blair, Dr. Francis Crest Wilson, Dr. Ben. You know, all of the great ones whose shoulders we're standing on doing this monumental work. You know, carrying it on our shoulders, representing for the great ones, representing for the ancestors, and waking our people up every day. Like my work is, I promise you, she's with me a lot. You know, everywhere that we go, the God is with me in the streets. Like every day somebody comes up to me and tells me how much I'm changing their lives. I get some people come up and put hundreds of dollars. Yo, here, hold that. That's just a tip. By the way, Cash App is money sign Phil Moreland. I can't forget that part. Yeah, because we leave tips whenever we get plates of food.
You're not afraid of like the feds coming in and trying to like.
Definitely not.
Never afraid of anything. Life is
afraid of them.
Yeah,
exactly.
Everything has a purpose.
Everything have a purpose. Everything is for a reason. You understand? Like, you know, we don't fear anything. You know what I'm saying? We don't fear, because false expectation appearing real, it doesn't serve any purpose.
Mm-hmm. The acronym for that was fear, by the way, for the folks out there. Yes. He just said false expectations appearing real. Continue.
Yeah, that holds no weight. You know, you actually will create your hell if you're allowed to. Mm-hmm. So we rather create our heaven. We all have trials and tribulations that we've been through. I've been through a very tumultuous timeline. The brother can attribute to that, and many and a lot of other people's can attribute it to that. So what don't break you makes you.
That's right.
You know, what don't break you make you. If they put me 12 feet under, I'm gonna be teaching the worms. You know what I mean? If they put me in solitary confinement, I'm gonna be teaching the box. You know, it doesn't matter about anybody that's naturally opposing you in this world of dualities, like I just broke down. There's a law of dualities. So the protagonist will always have the antagonist. Heru will always have a set. You understand? You should actually anticipate that to know that you're actually living out the movie. So how can man be measured by the strength of his foe?
That's a fact.
How else can man be measured but by the strength of his foe? So, you know, we all need a measuring rod, and I know that, you know, there's people who are not pleased with the truth, because that's what we represent, the truth, and we represent the realness, and we represent the black man and the black woman in a place of high intelligence where we're not being seen in a lowly state.
Wow.
People say hashtag black excellence, and I don't really understand what that means. I would love for someone to properly define it and to show me examples of what that should look like, and how that should move, how that should sound like, what that should talk like.
I think they just using that because they heard Jay-Z say it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So it's just going off for that. Since we going in, let's speak about something.
Yeah.
Let's speak about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Let's speak about people still celebrating genocide and things of that nature. Do you think that, like, when we celebrate Thanksgiving, as a family, it's like a secret ritual that's like cursing yourself?
I do. I feel in any case where anybody knows the truth about Thanksgiving, I don't co-sign, you know, trying to indoctrinate or to convert your family on any other date. But during Thanksgiving, you're obligated to break that curse. You have to bring out the truth about it in order to not participate in it and give it strength. Take the fucking shot, my nigga. Take one for the team on this one.
Thanksgiving.
If you go down with the cranberry, holding the cranberry, and your uncle just knock you out, my nigga, and hit you with the shut the fuck up. Like, take that one. You know what I mean? It was worth it.
Facts.
Because what we don't want to do for a whole nother year is to perpetuate the curse that our ancestors have placed on us. It's not the white man. Our ancestors are cursing us.
Because it's crazy, because when I text my mom, I was like, yo, mom, you cooking tomorrow? When she said no, I was kind of hurt. But then I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? I'm bugging.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Fuck it.
I eat every day. Anyway, I'm gonna eat anyway.
You're gonna eat anyway. And you just eat big if you want to.
Right.
I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm here to smudge them. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm here to smudge.
I'm just here to cleanse them. I'm not perfect. My aunt is inviting me over, and she's going in.
Right.
And this is a tradition, right? My father rocks an afro, but he tears it down. Right. So because of my level of information and maturation, because of the generation that I belong to, it's my obligation to bring a little bit of facts. They know the facts, but I'm going to reintroduce them to them tomorrow.
Right.
That's crazy. About the fact that there was a feast in Connecticut over the Pequods, 700 of them, women and children, who were defeated in a war or a conflict where they were ran down on in the early dawns by the European pilgrims and whatnot, and they slaughtered them, women and children mostly, right? And then had a feast about that. And that's what's setting off this feast that we're having. So it's almost like a feast to the purge.
Yeah.
Right?
It was a feast to the purge.
If you're knowledgeable about that, and then you choose to switch the energy around and just celebrate family and just being thankful for the fact that you still have your life, right? And being thankful for the fact that you still have your family with you for another year, because at the end of the day, that's the backbone, that's the strongest thing, that is foundation. And if it takes that day to bring us all together, but so be it. But I'm not giving it up for no fucking pilgrims. I'm not giving it up for no goddamn Thanksgiving. I'm not going to feed that demon. It's an egregore, what is known as a groupthink. So they're able to still feed off of our ignorance. Our ancestors are still somewhat baffled and still somewhat regretful that we're still under this spell of the European, because all that is a measurement every year to see how fucking strong the spell is. Now Christmas is breaking.
That's true.
Christmas is falling apart. Thanksgiving, on the other hand, because that's dealing with the stomach, that's the abdominal brain. Remember, we got two brains. Your second brain is in your abdominal. It's called the abdominal brain. It's the brain that controls the central nervous system. You understand? Your cerebral brain is dealing with your spine. It's dealing with your reptilian brain and whatnot. Your abdominal brain. The reason why I can kill you with a gut shot, not from the gun. I could punch you in your solar plexus and expire your life. You have a second brain. They call it your gut instincts. Men used to say that their brain was in their penis or their phallus. That's not that brain. That brain is in your stomach.
That's why you get the feeling.
That's why you get the feeling. That's why intuition is the highest form of intelligence. It's your solar plexus. It's called your solar plexus. So whenever you take ayahuasca, that's why people throw up. That's why because it's getting into your abdominal brain. When you take mushrooms, when you take edibles, it's not that. When you smoke, it's cerebral. When you take the edibles, it goes into your abdominal. That's why your body becomes high.
Get the monkeys.
Shit, man.
So core issues, right? People are storing their problems in their core issues. What do? We help you heal from your core. That's what we do at Know the Ledge. That's what Mama Pill does. That's what my brother, who's a young scientist, KT the Arts degree. That's what Blue Pill does with the goal, with the water, with the workout, with the fitness, with the food and all of that. That's what I do with the information. That's what Blue does with the breathing. Because if you know how to breathe, you could be in alignment with this brain and that brain. And that's called self-mastery.
He just made me take a deep breath.
Facts.
God, I love
when you going in, right? You got to get in line with your second brain through your breathing, right? And then you can last longer.
This is a fact.
This is a fact.
Things that this man is talking about is being practiced by the highest athletes in the world, the Olympics. They do things like that. They work on breathing techniques and they teach these people about the feeling in your... Yeah, all of them. The skiers, the fucking archery guys, they teach them things about the relationship of their brain with the intelligence that's inside their gut.
That's right. That's your spirit. Your
that's crazy.
Closer to your physics than people.
So guard it at all costs. You know what I mean? Guard it at all costs. Make sure you're mindful of what you feed it, and cleanse it. Clean it out. Clean the parasites out from it.
How can you clean it out? What do you use to clean it out?
KTtheArchdegree.com. So
spell it all out.
KT the THE Arch, like Archer, ARCH degree, DEGREE.com.
Now, when they go to this website, what do they particularly get?
The sea moss gel. There's a candida cleanser, which is a worm cleanser, a parasite cleanser. You have to go and study about parasites. Go find out about the influence parasites have over our minds, our thoughts, and our actions.
What you mean?
That parasites control. They can control the way that you move, the things that you do, not just the things that you eat.
So you're saying the parasites that are in your stomach,
they send out impulses into your brain. Remember, the
It'll
second brain, they can attach to your cerebral cortexes. They can send out signals to make you indulge in certain kind of foods, certain kind of sexual deviances, certain kind of other things. That is parasites inside of your body, taking over the host and taking over your mind. Henceforth, why Hollywood shows you that with movies like the Pod movies and things of that nature.
Hold on, brother. That's a lot to take in. So the parasites are having an influence over us as humans.
You are what you eat.
A computer virus kind of coming into you.
You ever know people that eat a lot of pig that act like them?
That's what HIV is. And
you know a lot of people that eat a lot of chicken and act chicken-like.
They're trying to kill the rat.
Boop boop, chicken.
Well, listen, I don't want to. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I would have let this be the longest podcast ever. I would have just sat here and talked to you. Got tired. We gonna save this. No part 2. We're gonna do a series.
We're gonna have to do a part 2 first before the series.
Yeah,
a part 2 with just the pill.
No, if he could bring blue, that'd be even better.
Okay, that's a fact. You want to plug anything to the folks before we get out of here?
I got a lot of things to plug. I just launched a streaming platform, KTLmedia.com. This is our alternative to YouTube because of the censorship, the demonetization, and all of the other funny things that are going on. We have our own streaming platform. We can live stream from the channel. You can set up your own channels. You can upload videos. KTL, K as in no, T as in the, L as in ledge. Media as in media.com. It's live right now. I just launched a movie, a 9-minute movie called Twin the Movie. It's on YouTube. It's 9 minutes. Twin the movie. The episode 1 called The Womb. It's a webisode, a musical webisode. Episode 1 of 7. It's the first one is called The Womb. You'll see nothing but fire emojis and things of that nature. It's being well received. The people love it. It's on multiple platforms. Wow. Shout out to World Star and anybody that's out there with a platform. I want you to be responsible. If any DJs that are out there with video platforms or musical platforms, I want you to be responsible. We cannot limit and point fingers at Tekashi if we're not willing to get behind those of us who are not a part of this slave-like, subservient musical industry that's contaminated and that is basically compromised.
Will Tekashi get out that situation that he's in?
Like I said, black magic matters, and I don't put anything past the spiritual realm. If he taps into some very high spiritual, because at this point it's all in the hands of his ancestors and whatever spiritual practices those who are not behind bars are doing. Because when you're in purgatory, when they take your freedom and you're locked behind bars, you can't do a lot of the rituals that it's going to take to get out of situations like that. You will have to have you have to master self-mastery. The people who beat these cases that they basically laid up and came home and defied the odds, these people move like ninjas. You understand? These people move like, they move like who they say they are. They're not running around being goofies and then they just miraculously come home. Right. They turn into lawyers. They turn into intellects. You understand? They turn very mature very quickly. Right? And they follow a certain code. And it's by following that maturity and that code and being able to utilize themselves, the strong part of themselves versus the weak part of themselves. Meaning that when you subdue your desires to be a nigga, when you subdue your desires to be a goofy, when you subdue your desires to be somebody that's inferior, that's thinking inferior, where you're thinking that you're gonna get life, or you're thinking that you deserve to be an inmate, when you're thinking you deserve to be a lifelong slave. You know what I mean? You fight that shit. You subdue that shit. You be like, nah, fuck that. I deserve to be with my children. I deserve to be in this world. I know all of the good that I've done. The thing with Tekashi that might outweigh the Bobby Shmurdas or other people of the world that we may try to compare him to is that he publicly did the ritual and he showed the family. He showed you ma'at. He gave you balance. because he was giving money he blindfolded his grandmother and blessed her with a bankroll.
Yeah, I seen that.
That's Sakina energy. Shout out to A.A. Rashid. That's a divine energy. You do shit like that when you got 1 million people to watch each post. You're casting a powerful spell. He was giving homeless babies and all. He was giving children. He was giving it away.
Yeah,
so
shout
the
out
kind
to
of
Shikashi
energy
for
that he
that.
has, like how XXX summoned up that energy. Because remember, you're gonna go out the same way that you came in. Always remember that.
My God.
You got to choose your battles wisely. You're gonna go out the same way that you came in. So when X tried to clean his shit up, they took him out. When Tekashi tried to clean it up with the Breakfast Club and go straight, they took him out. So you get a chance of redemption, but it all has to do with where that man is in his spirit. Because all of the people who come home, it's a spiritual battle at the end of the day. It don't got nothing to do with their bank account, because if that was the case, a lot of rich niggas would be home. It don't got nothing to do with luck. It don't got nothing to do with their lawyers. It turns, them niggas hug Bibles. I just was, you know what I'm talking about? I could relate. I've been kidnapped many times. Niggas turn spiritually monk-like.
Let's end it right there, man.
Yeah.
Yo, thank you for coming to the motherfucking Moving Forward show, man. Please come back
man.
for part 2.
For the clothing, I gotta remember, it's Black Friday.
let's go.
We got
Talk
some
about
sales
it.
from Black Friday to Monday. Kingscounty.bigcartel.com. I'm dripping right now. You might not be
Looking good right now.
You good right now, brother. The red, black,
fire.
protected by the red, the black, and the green.
Yeah,
You're looking real good right now.
hold on.
And you got the
He got
pants
the
too?
whole suit on, nigga. Yo,
You got
what's that
everything?
nigga name?
Son.
What's that nigga name that used to say that?
After you were right there too.
Right.
They would have been proud of him right now.
Yeah, definitely.
They would have been proud
Yo,
of him.
you
With
looking
the key.
real good right now, yo. The God is in the building.
That's right. Everything owned by us. I went from taking clothes to making clothes. You know, I'm talking about celebrate a check when yeah. Nah, but kingscounty.bigcartel.com. We got sales going up into Cyber Monday. We giving away our clothes, man. This is a wardrobe for the streets. One of the first street conscious clothing brands. I launched in like 05. I'm a pioneer in that platform as well. You know what I mean? So, you know, the clothing is my passion. I've always been about being fly and whatnot, but what I do now is I create my own clothing, you know what I mean, and it's going global. I dress the hood, I dress the ballroom, you know what I mean, I dress the actors and the athletes, and it's a beautiful thing because 20 years ago, you know, I was dressing them in Ralph Lauren and Hilfiger and putting D&G and Versace on them, you know what I mean, but that wasn't none of my stuff. I was promoting Greco-Romans. You feel me? I was promoting Rome. All of them are Roman. I was promoting the Romans, and I'm not even a Roman Catholic. You know what I'm talking about?
You ain't Roman, nigga.
You know what I mean? I ain't in Rome doing as the Romans do. So now we promoting Kemet. We promoting the Moorish Empire. You feel me? We promoting the Aboriginal indigenous creatives of the world. Shout out to all. I was just at the Buy Black convention. Shout out to the plethora of banging ass black brands, clothing lines that are out there. It's too many to name. It was like I was at the magic show for all black brands. Like, ye are rich. Like Garvey told us, we don't have anything to worry about. We don't have anything to complain about. We don't have anything to be like, but I don't know about. Because I promise you there's a revolution and an evolution going on right now as I speak. The feds can't stop it. The aliens can't stop it. Donald Trump can't stop it. You understand?
Shout out my boy Siberia. He got his own clothing line too.
That's right.
That's a fact.
That's right. The age of the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
The conscious industry. I got the book coming out, The Conscious Industry. I got Facts Initiative 2020. Facts Initiative stands for food, arms, art, clothing, coding, technology, transportation, shelter, and strategy. It is going to be a solution-based 500-page book that I'm bringing out at the beginning of the fiscal year of 2019.
That's spelled out fast.
Facts. And shout out to the Paradigm Shifters. The Paradigm Shifters consist of 9 members: Derek Grace, Rizza Islam, Brother Ben X, 19 Keys, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Billionaire PA, Sister Ajna, Pop Darby.
Wow.
And collectively, we have access to over 5 million people just on Instagram. That's just on the gram.
Wow.
Is you gonna be on the Hidden Colors?
No, that's just on the gram.
You don't fuck with the Hidden Colors?
It's not that I don't fuck with it. The brother never reached out to us.
He never reached out to y'all?
He never reached out to us. And we know
Come
the
on,
brother.
Tyreek.
But yeah. So as of right now, we won't be on that. We will be on Twin the Movie Volume Episode 1. You can catch that on YouTube right now. We will be on all episodes of Twin the Movie.
Right.
We will be on Know the Ledge, the documentary.
Right.
You know, we will be on many other things. But, you know, shout out to all of the we will be on the Paradigm Shifters documentary, the whole series that we're putting together. You know, so we got a lot of things that we're doing. 2019 to 20 is all about the arts and the sciences. That includes film, that includes music, fashion. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes,
lecturing, books, all kind of things, bro. So we out here working, man, and all we want the people to do is to support those of us that are on the front line, that come from real places and we're doing real things. I don't get out here and beat on my chest and go crazy with the ego and whatnot, because it's not that, you know what I mean? Like, that's just not where I come from. I show and prove, and I do my work, and I connect with real ones.
That's right.
You understand?
You definitely got
because
our support.
It's quality of membership, not quantity. I don't run around doing goofy shit just to get numbers. It's quality. If 5 people are following me, I got 5 of the most powerfulest gods on the planet doing it.
I ain't gonna lie, I never seen y'all reach for clout.
We don't clout chase.
And I've seen everybody in the conscious community reach for clout. But anyway, listen, that's the show. You know, shout out to the pills, red pill, blue pill. Shout out to the whole conscious community.
Shout out Daryl Boston.
Yeah. Shout out Shay,
man.
Duce, you know.
Shout out my boy Beezy for being in the back.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bezo.
Yo, we out of here.
Salute to
Tell
y'all,
Lenny
man.
to tell
Love and
Hov
light.
to cut the
Peace.
check.
Yeah, Cash App, money sign, Phil Moreland. PHILMORELAND.
Y'all
I like
got
to
that.
hear them coins drop.
Ching ching.
Peace.
Peace.